Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Halloween film podcast episode. And I'm your host, Autistic Lizard Pro, and the guy next to me here is Autistic Lizard Paw, aka my dad.
Yeah.
Hi, Dad.
Hi. We're
Yeah.
actually watching it right now on our TV. So Christina's actually watching it.
Oh, so yeah. Hopefully, you don't have the volume going on because that could affect some copyright issues. Like if, because I mean,
I don't know.
like
Right, exactly. So
yeah, because it could affect some. I could have a copyright claim or sorry, but yeah, just as long as you had the volume turned down. But anyway, so yeah, so
yeah,
this
I
is
do.
yeah. So anyway, so this is your first time being on my show, Dad. It, I,
Yep.
I
So
just hope.
here.
Yeah, so I hope there won't be any glitching problems. So yeah, so to this topic.
Go ahead. I'm in the office. Go ahead, buddy.
What? Yeah, whatever you're comfortable being in, Dad. I mean, in your office, but yeah, so today's Halloween film podcast topic episode, we're going to talk about the 1999 film The Mummy, the one that starring Brendan Fraser and directed by Steven Sommers. And we have some special guests here for tonight that will be joined with us, Dad. Please welcome Jedi Grand as Walter.
Walter.
Yes.
DJ Abson. I hope I'm saying your last name correct. And last but not least, Nick Adams, the monster reporter.
Yay! Here.
All right.
He is the man.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to this special episode here to talk about me and Dad's favorite Universal monster films of all time is The Mummy.
One of our favorites. I have so many others. Yeah, this is one of our favorites.
Oh yeah, because the reason why I picked you for this episode, Dad, is because I remember this is one of your favorites, and you're the one who introduced me to this classic remake film that we both watched growing up.
Right. So we probably watched it on, if you guys remember, DVDs.
Oh yeah, I remember we used to have it on VHS before we got on DVD.
My God.
Yeah.
Ancient technology.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I'll never forget that we both watched it together in the old house where we have it on VHS when I think I was like 3 or 4 that year.
Yeah, you might have been older, Brendan. I'm my memory. It was a while ago, but
I was 3 years old when this film came out.
Right, we probably watched it when you were a little bit older. I don't see your attention span at 3 years old watching, and I'd get in trouble if I'm having my son at 3 years old watching movies like The Mummy. So,
yeah, well,
but it was probably when you were a little bit older than that. So,
yeah, I remember first watching this film. Like, I think it was like right after the sequel came out, The Mummy Returns, that we also got it on VHS before DVDs. I mean, it's all because of you, Dad. I mean, because it was didn't you tell me that you used to rent a movie at Blockbuster on VHS, or did you like bought it?
Probably. You know what? Oh my God, he's dating me now. As far as if you guys remember Blockbuster and actually going there to get movies,
Yes,
That's me.
me.
So, but what a convenience today that you can, with all these apps and streaming devices, that you can just, from your own house
Oh,
or whatever,
yeah.
don't have to go anywhere. So,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, back in the days
No,
we used
no,
to,
no late fees. No late fees.
Yeah.
exactly, So,
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's good old times. And yeah, and I like to talk about this kind of a good memory that I had. That I remember my mom used to tell me this story like during dinner time, that she told me that I wouldn't forget about this. I mean, I was really getting into that film a lot more than the second. I remember that I used to watch this film many times after I get off from preschool.
right.
You still remember that, Dad?
I your memory is better than mine.
Yeah.
As I get
Well,
older, I can't even remember sometimes what I did last week.
well, Mom remembers. She told me that a few times.
Oh, okay. So,
Yeah, if
but
she was on here, she would definitely tell us this story. It's-
Don't
Right.
don't feel too bad,
So, good.
Dave. One, because I can tell you right now that there are things going back almost 30 years that I tend to lapse in memory. So it's getting there.
So you know where I'm going, Walter.
Yes, totally. So I totally understand.
Gotcha. So, but
Yeah, so that's so far that means I remember how we discovered this film.
Mhm.
That yeah, I mean, I know that Nick Adams just left. I mean, so let's start with you, Walter. How do you first discover this film? How do you remember as far as you can remember?
Trust me, I see. I see. Anubis knows me pretty well. He knows I'm a lover of films. But this is at a time when trailers were a little bit more robust back then, and we didn't have the internet as much as we do now. Because let's be honest, 30 years up, it was in its infancy. It was starting out.
right.
I saw this trailer in the trailer for this film in the theater, and it just kind of like, what is this? I mean, I don't know what this is. So I'm just like, it's pretty dazzling and everything. So it's interesting that when it came out, it's like, okay, I might give it a try. It might look interesting to me, but honestly, it just seemed like, okay, it's just another kind of Raiders of the Lost Ark kind of catch grab, whatever you want to call it. But when I did go see it in the summer of '99, I gotta say, I was pretty blown away by it. I was kind of like, wow, this is pretty interesting. This is actually pretty decent film. I mean, you got to remember, films that were coming out at this time was like the Phantom Menace, the Matrix, and various other films. But this one still kind of sticks out as one of those like pure gems. It's like, okay, you go into the movies to have a good time. This is it. And that's how I remember it from when I first saw it.
Wow,
Yeah.
very, very good memory, Walter. And
Well, with movies, it's not that hard, but the other things.
yeah, and I gotta be honest, Walter, we gotta bring back those blockbuster classic stores. I mean, I know we have
No.
stream now, but
No, Brendan, we're not bringing back blockbusters. Okay, no.
Look, it's
I'm
like,
just saying
it's but
that I wish I could go back in time to relive my glory days back before streaming.
You gotta realize, artistic, that it's like me, Anubis, and your dad. We're dinosaurs. We're become obsolete in some things. That's what Blockbuster is. It's obsolete. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I tell you what, Brendan, you want to bring Blockbuster stores back, then you can go get the movies, and then you could bring them to everybody here. Okay.
Maybe I'll bring them popcorn.
Yeah. So
I could be a movie theater delivery boy.
Hey, why not?
Sure.
So I already So you and Walter already talk about how you first discovered it. All we have left is Nick and DJ. Let's start with Nick. How do you first discover this film, Nick?
Okay, sorry I dropped out there for a while. It always seems to happen when I'm on your podcast, Brendan. I'm so sorry, but
That's okay.
I'm back. Hopefully, things stay stable and the world stays stable. But if they keep releasing these ancient mummies and high priests of Emotep and things like that,
Yes.
who knows what could happen.
Yeah. Well,
But,
it's the curse.
Halloween is tomorrow. So
Right.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing this podcast on the day before Halloween.
Yes.
Mhm.
Right.
We are on the eve of Halloween. So, yeah, I have seen this in the theaters in '99. And as Walter mentioned, yeah, it was a big year for blockbusters. A lot of great films coming out. And a lot of these films that were kind of trying new things. CGI, had been out obviously a few years, but there were films that, like this one, were trying new things, entirely CGI characters and CGI creatures and what a creature like this might look like. And I thought what they did knocked it out of the park, actually, for its time. I thought it was pretty darn good. And, it was also a good movie, popcorn movie. Saw it in theater, saw it also in our drive-in. If you want to talk about something that is, is like the rental store, but not gone out of style. There are still drive-ins that exist. They're few and far between. But in my little county of Randolph in Indiana, we still have a working drive-in. I only wish they show classics. They show new releases. That's great. There is a great drive-in in Pennsylvania that I follow that does show classics. They'll try to show Godzilla classics. They'll have
Yes.
Is that the
Don't
Mahoney?
even
Mahoney,
get Brendan on Godzilla.
Mahoney Theater. Yeah, they
Really?
they'll have an entire weekend dedicated to an entire genre. So that's awesome, and I hope they're successful with it. But yeah, the rental store is a thing of the past. It's a museum piece. I think there is one blockbuster still in existence. Mostly for the novelty of it, not necessarily because it's actually renting out movies. But when it was a new release, you went to the rental store, and of course, if you weren't there right at the get-go, it was rented out by your neighbor. And honestly, my little town and my little county, there weren't actually blockbusters. We had to go far and wide for blockbusters, but we had to have mom and pop rental stores, which was awesome. Video game rentals, and the VHS, and then later DVD, and even consoles were rented, which was kind of cool. You didn't own a 64, a Nintendo 64,
Yeah.
too. So yeah, obsolete. The gray hairs are there. But we're still kicking.
Look, if I was feeling old before, I'm feeling way old now because I remember when they used to do that, rent those consoles out. Good Lord.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. Actually, you get it for a weekend, and invite all the friends down, pizza, popcorn, all kinds of junk food, and we're playing some 64. Actually, I think I rented the Sega Genesis quite a bit because I was a Nintendo guy, but occasionally I wanted to play some Mortal Kombat on the Genesis. I wanted to play some Altered Beast. I wanted to play some Sonic, the good Jurassic Park, things like that. But yeah, back to The Mummy. I enjoyed this film, watched it several times in the theaters, and then ended up owning it on DVD afterwards. And always thought it was a great one to throw on and just enjoy.
Yeah, that's how me and Dad felt. I mean, and I just remember that I think last year it was the 25th anniversary of The Mummy last year. It was released back in theaters for a limited time. I think I forgot to mention that I actually saw it in theaters last year for its 25th anniversary.
There's a big difference on the big screen than it is on TV, right?
Yeah, they're releasing a bunch of movies for their anniversary years back to theaters.
Yeah, but you gotta understand something. And when I was rewatching this film, you have to understand the quality of filmmaking back then is nothing like we have now. The stuff that they have now, you can only find like maybe a slight gem in amidst the muck that we produce nowadays. And back then, you had a cavalcade of stuff coming out that you can pick and choose, and it was like, oh, this is pretty cool. Nowadays, it's touch and go, so it's very. And then again, like I say, I'm a seasoned individual who grew up in a time when movies were made with the blood, sweat, and tears of making something good and decent. But nowadays, it's like, I don't know, it's just thrown to the caution to the wind, basically, as the saying goes.
Yeah. You know what? You guys are more into the movies than that. Brenda's jarring my memory where I can, but I think you hit it on the head, Nick, when you were like, back then there was that movie with the effects and that. I think that's one of the things that attracted me to it, going, holy cow, I haven't seen something like this, with the changing of the mummy. And I think that kept my interest too, along with the story, but those effects of that time, so,
and I'm sure we'll get into this as we go along, but someone who is always a fan of Egypt, and archaeology and things like that. And I love the original Mummy too. But I'll tell you this, when I try to show it to my friends or my wife or my kids, it's the best cure for insomnia. They sleep very well watching the original The Mummy, 1932. So this one, when you think The Mummy, he's going to be like a zombie moving and in the bandages and things. And this movie was like Indiana Jones and an amazing,
example.
Action, Indiana Jones style movie with the supernatural going on, a great cast, great music by Jerry Goldsmith. I mean, it was like action, and you're like, The Mummy? Wow. Love The Mummy. But, it's like, you think The Mummy, slow kind of, he's lumbering around kind of character. And I still, like I said, I still love the Boris Karloff original Universal, but this one, is like when they say The Mummy, it's like, that's the one I want to watch because I'm going to get the popcorn out. I'm going to get the soda out and I'm going to enjoy the heck out of this. We're going to be quoting it later on. The original has that kind of eeriness going on, and it's like it's really drawn out. And at the time, it was scary for the people that were watching it. It was a good horror, monster film. But to watch it, you really have to love it.
And Nick, and I did glad you brought up about this movie. It's almost like a horror version of Indiana Jones, which I would love to talk about that later as we go on. And so I would say that's a good memory that you share with us. So last but not least, DJ, let's talk about how you first discovered that film.
Well, pretty much like some of you guys, I saw this in the theater. The thing about The Mummy, this particular film, and I know you guys have touched on a little bit, is that when you talk about fun, that's what this film is. It's fun. And some of the films that we see in the modern day kind of lost track of that. They overthink it. They try to do too many things, and they forget to just have fun. Yes, have fun. I like what Nick said about the CGI. At the time, this one was branching out, doing something new. And it's like almost like every 5 to 10 years, we see something else that's different. So come 2014, when Godzilla came out, it improved upon that. You got to see a different side of the CGI, which was really cool. But it's funny because going into this film, I did remember seeing the trailers on TV, not really knowing much of the cast except for one person, Kevin J. O'Connor. And I knew him from Deep Rising the year before, and he is such a fun actor to watch. He brings life to every character he ever plays. Incredibly funny.
Yeah.
But obviously I got to, see Brendan Fraser become into his own. I thought Arnold Vosloo did an amazing job as, the Mummy in What's Up. And it's a really fun movie, man. I enjoyed the shit out of it.
Wow.
I just want to put a side note. Sorry, Brendan. you were talking about the guys in that. Actually, that Kevin O'Connor or whatever graduated. He's a couple years older than me, but we went to the same high school. He's from the south side of Chicagoland area.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Yep.
Cool.
goodness.
Yep, and you
So-
told me the story about that, Dad, and like many times.
Yeah, I
like-
didn't know him personally or anything. I just knew after researching these guys, I'm like, oh my God, this guy went to, my high school, and he's just like, I might have been a freshman. He might have been like a junior or senior, and then all of a sudden, you look up people that, fame, who from your high school made it, and all of a sudden his name popped up, so just a little side note.
Yeah, I think the most famous one for me was Kip Winger, or the band Winger from the 80s. Went to one of my local high schools.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I gotta say that Kevin O'Connell, like he's like a funny guy in the Mummy. I mean, like, yeah, he played as Benny. It's like I did a research of him. He was in another Stephen Sommers film before the Mummy. It's called Deep Rising.
Yes.
Yep. Incredible movie.
Very underrated film.
I never seen Deep Rising, but I heard
I think he got to start. Even his first movie was in Peggy Sue Got Married.
Was he?
Probably. I mean, I remember
Wasn't that one of his
him.
first movies that
Probably.
I'm not
I
Peggy
sure.
remember
Got
early
Married?
in the 90s, he did Lord of Illusions. I remember him from that.
Yes, he did. Yes.
Yeah, but yeah, I know
I've
he was
never
in
seen
Deep
that.
Rising, and when I heard some fans say that this film is like a prequel to King Kong, but I'm not sure. But it's just a fandom.
We actually talked about that recently because of the ending. So or the ending of Deep Rising. So there's a scene where they end up on a beach and you hear this roar from this jungle. And so some people wanted to try to say, well, that would have been a cool crossover to add that to Skull Island and have them land there, but it was never really proven to be connected at all.
Yeah,
That's really too.
yeah.
Maybe Nick has more information on that than me. I don't know.
I was going to mention to Brendan, if you do go see Deep Rising, buckle up. That is a wild movie.
It's a ride. Yes. It's a
Great cast in that one too.
Yeah,
Where
maybe
is it a horror movie or what kind of?
horror.
It's similar. It's
Go ahead.
similar to this. I mean, it's a little bit more gory, so you can't really take young kids and
Yes,
watch
that's
it. But it's a lot of fun. O'Connor is hilarious again in it. He plays the sidekick as usual. A great cast. You'll see a lot of familiar faces in it. It has Famke Janssen in it. It's fun. It's a wild ride.
And it's definitely one that's where Stephen Sommers gets to be unleashed because he's got the R rating in that one. This one keeping it PG-13 for the audience. And it's like PG-13 of its time. These days it might still remain PG-13, but this film, The Mummy, but by today's standards, it's almost tame. I still think this one's great. And of course, when I watched it and in school and stuff, there would have been little kids watching it too, and with their parents and such. And I thought there was some, decently frightening scenes in this. It's like, wow, it's like it's not gory or anything, but it's definitely got the frightening side of things, and definitely ones that have just the memories of the scarabs, something that's literally under your skin. New fear unlocked.
Yeah, just be covered. There's sure there are no beetles gonna crawling in your skin.
Right. And just for a quick question there, you mentioned, Nick, about Deep Rising, that's his R-rated genre right there. Was that his only R-rated film, as far as you know? Because I don't think I've ever heard him do any other R-rated films. As far as
I don't think so. I mean, Van Helsing wasn't.
It was PG-13. I know that.
That was PG.
G.I. Joe, Rise of Cobra.
I seen Van Helsing.
Connor's in that one too. He plays Igor.
Yeah. I did watch Van Helsing not too long ago. I watched it on Netflix. It was on Netflix for a limited time, and I pretty much enjoyed that one. I may give this film another watch someday if it comes back. And so I want to talk about more about Steven Sommers, the director. I mean, he does an amazing job directed this film. I mean, this is like one of his best films ever made. That's why me and Dad like Steven Sommers.
And
I was going to say, was this the first Mummy movie made after the original Mummy in the 1930s?
I think there was. I mean,
Sorry,
there was another remake, but before this one, but it was made by a different studio. I think it was Warner Brothers and
Hammer Studios, made it. Well, I don't. The distributor. That's a word I can't say hardly. But yeah, it may have been distributed by Warner Brothers, I believe, but it was the Hammer Horror Classics that did remake all the Universal classics and did their version of the Mummy as well.
Because I think Christopher Lee was in that one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, was Christopher Lee was in?
Yeah.
Oh, him and Peter Cushing's being the staple of pretty much all Hammer horror classics.
Because that's the thing about Christopher Lee. He was always playing Dracula or the Mummy. I don't know if he's played a werewolf, but I doubt it, but he was a very, kind of actor like that. So yeah.
You're their go-tos.
I gotta close my door.
Okay. You were asking Walter about R-rated. He did do a film.
Gunman.
Steven Sommers did do a film. He was
Gunman.
actually. What's that? Gunman.
Gunman.
Okay.
Cool.
Was that
1994.
Okay.
Oh, I know about that one. Okay. Oh, he directed
Good
that
movie.
Okay.
He also did a movie called Terror Eyes. I have no idea about it. Back in '89, it's an R-rated one, but I never heard of it.
Never heard of that one either. Okay.
But he can go everywhere. Adventures of Huck Finn, a Disney film.
I know about that one.
Film.
Yeah,
Young Elijah Wood.
Yeah, I was gonna. And I'm sorry to interrupt, Nick, but I think Steven Sommers, he also directed the first live action remake of The Jungle Book.
Yes.
Was it in 1994?
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, and I didn't know he directed that one. That was he did that before he did The Mummy.
Yeah, way before he made The Mummy.
He's got the range.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about we already talked about the director, but let's talk about the characters. Let's start off with Rick O'Connell, that's played by Brendan Fraser.
Yes.
That he has the same first name as I am.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember when I was watching the making of The Mummy, that was on the special features on the DVDs. It's just a special features called Building a Better Mummy. I remember when I was watching the making of it. I mean, I remember when Brendan Fraser first appeared that he has his name label. When I was a kid, I was surprised to say, "Hey, he has the same name as I do." Yeah. I don't know if you remember that, Dad, when we first got on DVD.
I don't remember that, Brendan. So
his voice hadn't changed either.
Yeah. I'm like, what just happened?
Yeah.
What does that remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I remember Brendan Fraser in The Mummy, and I definitely do remember him from George of the Jungle, because that's the Disney film I remember used to watch a lot before. I watched that film less than The Mummy. I mean, because I watched The Mummy more than George of the Jungle. Speaking of which, I mean, I remember that one scene when he was kept in prison. And that one scene when he met Evie and Jonathan. I mean, he does have that George of the Jungle hairstyle in that prison scene. Is before the scene where he was hanged. Yeah, I wonder if he still has the George of the Jungle wig. I wonder if that's the same one from George of the Jungle, because that film was made 2 years before The Mummy.
Mm-hmm. It's possible because sometimes actors do carry certain props from previous films to their homes, or they steal them sometimes. I mean, it's not unheard of, But yeah, I mean, and then again, it could be something that he wore in his first film that I think he starred in, which I actually enjoyed. Nobody talks about it much. Encino Man.
That's amazing.
I
I'm going to
think
bring that up. I love
yes,
Encino Man.
Encino Man is such. Look, when I went to the theater to go watch this, I didn't know what to expect. And when I watched this, like, wow, who is this guy? He's really got some range playing some, caveman here. But
did Adam Sandler play in that?
No,
not Adam Sandler. I think that's
Sean
Pauly
Astin and Pauly Shore.
probably sure.
Who was?
I remember that.
Oh, Bobby, that short guy, right?
Yep,
Pauly
Pauly
Shore?
Shore. Yep.
Yeah.
I remember that. I think Brendan Fraser was in the film with Adam Sandler before The Mummy was.
I'm trying to think, was it what was that film? And I know you're talking about he was playing a rocker, if I'm not mistaken, or something. I can't remember.
Oh, Airheads.
Airheads, yes, that's what it was.
Yeah, with the DJ.
That's another great film.
Yeah, that's oh my god, y'all really making me feel my age out.
Way back.
Yes. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
and so I know Brendan Fraser plays Rick O'Connell in the film. I mean, I gotta say Brendan does an amazing job with playing the role of this character. I mean, I like his character. He's like a one awesome gunfighter. I mean, in this film, he is a gunfighter. He uses guns a lot. And he's kind of like a new update of. He's like the new update version of Indiana Jones, except he doesn't have the whip.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what you kind of mentioned now, how his character is. He's very whimsical, very charismatic. He's a jokester, but he doesn't joke so much where it's like over saturating the film, because you do have a mixture of comedy with action, but with a little bit of suspense and horror. And he just kind of blends. I mean, just kind of adds it up to where it's like it blends very well. And his character, like I say, he surprised me. I mean, I know he's a good actor, but I feel like in this film it really does a service, because it's like you're pulled in and you just enjoy his character. You just enjoy his flamboyancy. I mean, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right with that. So
Yeah, and I'll never I don't know if you people noticed, but I did tell you this, Dad. I mean, remember the scene when O'Connell was about to be hanged? When they're filming. I mean, when they actually when they actually hang Brendan Fraser. I mean, for good. I mean, for the drop thing of they use a stunt double for that, but when the camera turns and face Brendan. I mean, when they're filming, when they have the rope around his neck, who is hanging. I mean, for real. I mean, it almost killed Brendan Fraser. I mean, I remember he brought this up on interviews that when the camera turns towards him, when the camera has him hang, he remembered that he felt like he'll never forget this awkward experience that. When he was hanged, he felt like his elbows right here are in his ear, and then the world was like sideways, and then everyone was just silent, and then his teeth were grunting while he was hanged. When the guy above him pulled the rope up, he was tight when the rope was tighter.
Well, I hope they paid him a lot for that scene.
Yeah, and I had to bring this up real quick, because this is something similar that happened with Michael J. Fox on Back to the Future Part 3, where he almost died from a hanging scene, or I should say lynching, but you might as well say hanging. And they had him in a rope situation, and he almost died in similar ways that Brandon did. And I'm just kind of like, okay, I know y'all going for realism, but make sure that the actor that you have is safe and that person can perform again, because if you kill them on sight, that's not going to look good to some investors here. That's good.
Good thing Doc Brown shot the rope, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, the scene when Brendan, when O'Connell was hanging. I mean, Brendan Fraser did stand on his tippy toes.
Right.
Yeah, for that, and then when they finally cut the rope down, when O'Connell was laying. I mean, I remember they said that Brendan Fraser was only dead for like 2 seconds. I mean, but he was all right at the end. I think it was. I don't know if it's that one shot when he almost like turned to Evie after he was dropped down, and yeah, I think that was that shot. He almost died. I mean,
Yeah,
In
but he
real
didn't
life.
because he continued to make movies, so we're all good with Brendan.
Yes. And win an Oscar, which was well deserved.
yeah,
It's all
Oh, did
entertainment, folks.
Yeah.
yeah.
Why it pays to have good stunt doubles that are out there, and some of the most underrated ones. And I got to give props to the stunt guys who did Home Alone. Those guys deserve an Oscar. The ones that got paint cans and everything. They're just beat the tar out of those guys. And then some of the actors that say, "I'll do my own stunts," right? Tom Cruise or whatever.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought it up. That's what Brendan Fraser did. He like especially when he was doing the fight with the mummy army parts, like this. Yeah, that once he was trying to save Evie, like, he actually done his own stunt, and I think it took him like few days or weeks to do his training for that, and like I think I remember that. I think they said Brendan took this too far of doing his own stuff because I think because he has some like because it made his back sore and he needs to have like a knee surgery. I think for that.
Well,
I mean,
that's the problem though. Sometimes when like Tom, when he's so adamant about doing his own stunts, but he has to kind of finance his own stuff. Most studios now, it's too much of a risk. You're paying these actors a lot of money to do a film, and then you're on these budgets and deadlines. If they get hurt, it sets them back. So I think that's one of their concerns with like allowing these guys to do that to the point that they get hurt and can't. Like they'll just keep setting the film back. So they have to be very careful about what they give out to these guys in terms of stunts.
yeah,
you got to remember. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And I gotta say, with these, well, at least Brendan Fraser, at least he had a very good time.
Yes,
that's the line. That's
the line.
Yeah,
right. But this
at least I love me when he said his neck did not break.
Yes. But I add on to Anubis is saying, about how they finance these. Take Jackie Chan. He does all his own stunts, but no insurance company will finance him because he's such a risk taker, and he has almost died literally on some of the films that he's done, So it's like nobody will finance him. So if he does a stunt, they're gonna, or I'll put it like this: if he performs something to do a stunt, he's gonna perform. He's like, no, we're gonna get a stunt double to do it, but he does his own stunts even to now. I don't know if he's really doing that because man's 70-some years old. Back then it's like, no, nobody would finance this guy. So it's like, well, if y'all not gonna finance me, fine, I'm gonna do it myself, and I'll just see if I can die on camera for my fans here. I guess
the liability is probably too much. There's no way you want to take a chance with that. You wouldn't even touch it. So
you're right, and so we already talked about Brendan. I mean, I'm talking about Brendan Fraser, but
we're talking about you too, Brendan.
Yeah, exactly.
Who? Yeah, that's for another
Brendan
day,
Lizapro or Brendan Fraser?
I mean, it depends.
I will say this. I do love the chemistry between Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz. I thought it was very good. They
let's talk about Rachel Weisz. Yeah, I mean, she does an amazing job as Evie, and I mean, she's like, she does an amazing job playing Evie in this, and she's like a curious, adventurous type of girl, and she is the damsel of distress. And
I was going to say, sorry. I don't think she's adventurous at first because she's a librarian.
yeah, she is a librarian.
Right. But I think Brendan Fraser brings that out with her when they go on that adventure. And I think
yeah,
she's chaotic. Like,
when her and Jonathan went to find Hamanantra, the city of the dead. I mean, they need like they need to find someone who knows this city. And
yes, and we got to remember Evie. She's very smart. She's very intelligent, but she's extremely naive at first, because that one scene where she has the key, she's about to open up the Book of the Dead. I'm just like, girlfriend, do you realize what you're about to do right now? You do. I know you're fascinated with the fact that this is ancient history, ancient Egyptian stuff, but it's like, there's a point of where danger needs to come in, or for like stranger danger moment needs to click in your head. It's like, don't do this, but we see what the results are, So, but
and I'll never forget that one scene in the library. She was with the ladder. It's just like standing.
Yes.
I'm like, that actually gave me a shock there. I was like, whoa. I mean, and of course,
kind of a cool effect.
Yeah,
by the way,
but with a far shot of her between the two bookcases and the. Yeah.
And do you realize that was a guy doing that stunt too? I don't know if you know that.
Was it?
Yes,
wait,
that was a guy.
Wasn't it? So that was a guy doing a stunt double?
For a woman, yes.
Wow.
Yes.
I did not notice that.
Yes.
Wow, I thought it was another woman who was.
They could have got a woman, but I feel that, to be stringers, they say, let's get a guy who knows how to do this and, do the stunt. Yeah. So
right.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, and I think Nick said before, that was a one take moment with the
was it?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
when they do when the camera's doing the 360 rote, they on the bookcases falling down like dominoes.
All one take.
Yeah.
The patience of that guy, it's like, I don't know how long it takes. I don't care how long it takes. You're gonna every book.
You're gonna get this in one shot, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad they do that in one shot. I mean, if there's like a mistake or like someone's in the background, I mean, it will fail for one shot. I mean, it will take an entire day to straighten up these bookshelves and pick up 12,000 books.
Yes, probably more than a day. I can guarantee, because those are big, heavy, bookshelves and a lot of books. It's like it'll take time, but that's the thing that was set production back, and this is what you wanted to get in the first time when you're filming something, because like that costs, if you set, you have to do it again. And we know nowadays with budgets the way they are, movies cost like 200, maybe 300 mil. It's like, yeah, we can do this again. It's like, dude, back then this movie had a budget of like $80 million. That's small potatoes compared to what it is now. But back then it's like, okay, get it right the first time, don't do it again. So.
And they actually did the same thing in the sequel, The Mummy Returns, but with the whole thing. So
it was go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they did the same thing of that in the sequel that Alex did, and then
I think that was kind of like a callback.
Wish I would like to cover that for a next episode, maybe someday.
You can, because I can tell you right now, watching this again, this the first Mummy, I'm not gonna say I disown the second one, but I feel like they were trying a little too hard with the second one. I think they was oversaturating what they did in the first one compared to this one, and I feel like, which I don't have no problem with, and they did add on to the story, but I think they was
I like the second one. I think it's like a good companion piece.
Yeah, me too.
I have my problems with the third one. The third one, when Rachel wasn't there.
Yeah, no, the third one.
Yeah, that was a little different. What you know what,
one.
guys? What the third one? Which one was that again?
The one with Jet Li, the Emperor.
Okay.
The Temple of the Dragon Emperor.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that the third one's it's not good, and the remake from the one with Tom Cruise,
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah,
Well, they were trying to do that as like
I-
that whole
I prefer-
MonsterVerse thing where they got all the Universal stuff together and tried to bring it all together, but
Yeah, I prefer the first and the Mummy Returns.
Let me tell
Yeah,
you one
I
thing
thought-
about Mummy Returns that you're going to find interesting, and I mentioned this in a while ago. I did a review on the original Mummy, the Scorpion King. So the Scorpion King is introduced, of course, in the Mummy Returns.
Yeah,
It's his own series of films.
yeah,
So the Scorpion King film itself is not even kidding. It is a prequel to a sequel that is a remake.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I only saw the Scorpion King only one time. Yeah, which maybe I'll talk about the Mummy Returns in another episode next time. You
I
never
actually
know.
like the series of all the Mummy. You know, was there 3?
It was 3.
yeah.
Yeah,
There was-
I actually thought they did a good job. You know, the third one being my least favorite. I still liked it, but I think they did a pretty good job as far as films, because if I remember correctly, it's tough to make a sequel to that's going to do as good as your original.
Yeah.
You know,
And
so
yes.
I
Yeah, because-
enjoyed it.
Yeah, because Rachel Weisz didn't return to this one. This
Contract
is why I
dispute,
prefer the
probably.
first and the second, and it's all
That-
because
and
of
that's what I
Rachel
kinda
Weisz.
mean, right? So you have like a good cast and everything, and you know the third one, Jet Li, that's a big name. Like I'm a big martial arts fan guy, you know, so like Jet Li in there, I'm thinking, oh, cool, this is gonna be great. But you don't put Rachel Weisz in there's like that chemistry I was talking about.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem with
lost
Maria Bella. Maria Bella is a great actress, but when you don't really have the connection that you had from the first couple of films, it kind of loses its luster.
It's also not a
Yeah.
Stephen Sommers film either. He did not come
Right.
out with that film.
That's
And it's
right.
sad because he actually hasn't done anything since 2013. Though on his IMDb, there is an upcoming project that he's remaking, When Worlds Collide, which I actually like that original film too. It would be interesting to see that. I don't know if that's just hype on IMDb or if that's true. I hope it's true. But at the same time, he has not done anything really, just some writing and producing since a 2013 film I never saw. And, you know, before that, G.I. Joe. So it's kind of like, yeah, the man needs more.
And that probably would have changed the dynamic too, because even if Rachel hadn't come back, like the way that Summers incorporates his comedy with the action, it really works. So I think that's a big reason why also that third one didn't really hit with everybody.
Yeah, and so let's get back to the characters. I mean, we already talked about Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz, and that. The one thing I also forgot to mention about her character Evie, like she's actually like when she's like the human sacrifice for Imhotep, because Imhotep is always stalking her because she's like the impression or it was evolved of a Nox on the moon.
Yes.
That Imhotep, like he just sees Evie as a Nox on the moon, but he chose her for a human sacrifice.
Right.
But do you know why he mistook her for a Nux on the moon? I know Anubis over here is probably like, oh, I got this.
I already know. Yes.
Actually, the guys with the glasses,
I forgot.
the guys with the glasses would know why.
Yes. Even know.
You steal the man's eyes and make them your own, but you stole the guy's eyes that's nearsighted to the point where he's really blind without him. And it's like, pop those eyes in. I'm the mummy. I've been dead for 3,000 years and I can't see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Woman I
that-
come
I
across.
think I know why. It's all
And I
because
think
So
he,
she
that's
was
why,
the first
like-
one he saw, and he goes, "I'm taking her."
Well,
Yeah,
and plus
it's
in
all
the second film, they actually bring them together. They take Evie as well as Nux on the moon, and they put them together as like competitors. So like
Right.
it was kind of a
I
good
think-
play off of the first film, where like Imhotep was like, Yeah, you do kind of look like my lady. I think I'm gonna make you into my lady.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm glad you brought it up, Walter, because I know why Imhotep chose Evie, because he stole Burns' blind eyes.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like because Burns is always wearing glasses, he's always sees things blurry.
Yes, it's basically just like I say, it's not just reading, but it's for him to actually see the surroundings around him, so he needs that. But yeah, if you cannot tell the one that you loved before to this particular one now, it's like, no, it's not going to catch, so it's
It's like me, I'm blind without my contacts or my glasses, so,
and also he stole his tongue too.
Well, yeah, that's
He stole everything. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think I'm missing my tongue. I'm so happy I have you guys on here.
I did like the scene where when Imhotep first awakens and he's facing Benny, and Benny's going through different religions.
Oh my God!
Oh yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
It works.
Yeah, let's talk. Yeah, so we already talked about Connor and Evie. Let's talk about Kevin O'Connell, who played Benny,
Yes.
the one who used
so
to
funny.
go to my
Good.
dad's school, and yeah, he is like a funny character, and I want to let me talk about this. I mean, I know Benny is a funny, hilarious character. I mean, when he teases, like, he is just a friend of O'Connell. Sometimes they could be they could be yeah, they could be sometimes they could be friend or foe, or because
I think he was
more like some people like to say
Opportunist.
this
Yeah.
as
Yeah,
frenemies.
that's exactly.
Frenemies.
Yeah.
Not so much frenemies. It's as DJ says, like opportunists. That's pretty much what he is.
When things are going good, he's your best friend. When things start turning south, he's like,
He's out of there.
I mean, because remember at the beginning of the film, when they're in the desert, and they're battling these other guys, he said, "You're with me on this, right?" It's like, "Oh, this gives me strength."
Yeah.
Your strength gives me my strength. And I love it when he said this line 2 times in some scenes, and he said, "Wait for me."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a great thing about Summers, is that he was able to insert that character of Benny in like the best possible way. So like again, like the going through the religion stuff with Imhotep, but then like when they have to go across the river with the horses, Benny's talking all this shit like, "Hey, we got all the horses," and then Connor's like, "Well, yeah, but you're on the wrong side. We're over here."
Right.
Yeah. And I also love when. And I also love how they reunite on that boat scene. And it's like, well, if it ain't my little buddy Benny, I think I'll kill you. I was where he was going to, and like what Benny says, "Think of my children." I said, "You don't have any children. Someday I might." And I'll never forget this reference line, and I think it was in 2 or 3 scenes that O'Connell just get rid of Benny. He's like, "Goodbye, Benny," and he tosses him overboard. It's like,
but that's why also, like, when you guys finally check out Deep Rising, a lot of what you see in this with O'Connell or O'Connor is the same thing you're seeing in Deep Rising, the same type of character where he's doing a lot of these funny one-liners and having fun with the roles. So just be ready when you watch it.
He's just like I say, he's just like a little like a sneebling weasel, where in that one is like he's playing for survival, but he's one of the protagonists.
Yeah, he's a lot more lovable in Deep Rising than he is in this one.
And I just think when he played Benny, he's like his character is he's kind of like a villain sidekick Disney characters type.
I can see that
type of character, like he's like working for Imhotep. He's just working for him because he wants the award, and because Benny just turns some of his buddies into so Imhotep can suck the souls out of them, so he can involve. He's this with that moment when Benny's working for Imhotep, like it's kind of like they try to catch. It's kind of like Summer is catching that from the 1931 film Dracula. It's kind of like Dry Fry's character. The Winfields worked for Dracula.
I think Benny was all about Benny. You know,
I'm just saying there's some parts when he was working for Imhotep is sort of a little similar to Dracula. A
I
little
mean,
bit.
I can see that, but
I mean, he can be like a Renfield, sure. I
yeah,
can see that.
because you got to remember, he says even to Connell, you know, it's like, I mean, I'd rather be the right hand of the devil than anything else. I mean, if I'm
then being in his way,
you be in his way. So it's like, yeah, he's like I say, an opportunist, you know.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of looking him up.
I mean, you could look at it as he's like a survivalist. I mean, you know, it's kind of a crappy way to go about doing it because you're sacrificing all your friends in the process. But he does whatever he can to survive, and if that means kissing up to whoever has the biggest power or most power, that's what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
And I love the part when Benny and Connell were always like sometimes there's some moments when like they get into fight each other, and it's like when they're having a race to Amanatra, like the camels. I like how Benny just whips Connell like he's wearing like. Yeah.
I'm like, that's that's being kind of dirty right there. I mean, it's like y'all going for the same prize, but yet you're gonna swat the guy on your side there. It's like, and Rick, he just like, okay, you really want me to do something right now, and then like grabs him, like, goodbye, Benny, bye.
And I just noticed. I mean, that scene I talk about, the camel race. I mean, when Kevin O'Connell when they were filming this, when Kevin O'Connell was riding his camel, I mean, his camel did not get along with him because there were some moments like that when his Kevin O'Connell did not get along with his camel when they were riding across the desert to Hamanatra. I mean, I think it's because they explained it's because Kevin was wearing sandals. I mean, it kind of makes him more comfortable for the camel because when he's kicking the camel, it was. But I think, if you look carefully at some scenes Benny was wearing sandals, but when he was riding the camel, but if you look carefully, he was wearing boots or some towel cloths wearing.
Benny was or
no
Benny.
That might have been a continuing error right there. You know?
Yeah, it's probably an overlook. Not really paying attention.
That's the kind of thing.
Now, when I see the movie, I'm going to have to start looking for that. You know,
same way.
You realize that Benny's, giving crap to Fraser's character O'Connell about nice camel. He's riding a camel too.
Yeah, because the Americans are riding horses.
Yeah,
but nice camel is like actually that's what you want out here in the desert. I was also going to mention about O'Connor here, Kevin O'Connor. He's a favorite, definitely, of Stephen Summers. He's in G.I. Joe, Rise of Cobra. He's in Van Helsing, Deep Rising. We mentioned.
Wait, Kevin O'Connell was in Van Helsing?
He is Igor. Igor. Yeah.
Oh, I had to look back to that.
Yeah.
How did I not see that?
Yes, man.
He was in makeup for one thing.
So he's got a lot of makeup on. You could see, being a fan of his, you could see, okay, I recognize him, but
maybe it's the makeup.
Yeah, they did a really good
job. The only way you really notice is just his voice. Like you can pick up on his voice, but he doesn't look anything like he usually does.
Oh yeah. Your strength is my strength.
Exactly.
Perfect.
That's very good.
Oh God!
I was going to say it says right here on his IMDb.
I'm doing very good at voice impressions.
That was excellent.
That was really good. Yeah, I like that.
I'm trying to think of the one line and say.
I'm glad you got that.
I like. Anyway, I also like the other scene when Rick O'Connell is trying to get Benny to talk about why is he working with Imhotep, and that once he was throw the chair and say, "Oh, Benny, you fell down. Let me help you up." And he just throws him around. I mean, that would probably give Kevin a little sore there after Fraser.
I'm pretty sure he was at it.
Yeah, it's like it was like, what did you say? Like I don't want to tell you. You just hurt me more. I
What's
just
nice
love.
is that what they did, they took and they rode this from 1930 whatever 31, and Summers can just expand that story, get into some detail from the original, because the original is kind of vague, versus this Mummy movie, as far as expanded on a little bit of history. It kept, that's one of the things that kept my interest in this movie from the first one. And I think these directors, whatever, could take those old Universal movies and just go with it and say, okay, we really can make this go as far as in detail.
Yeah, and I gotta say,
go ahead. I'm sorry, Frank.
And I gotta say that there's some scenes in this film they did capture some scenes from the original, like like when how they named the mummy Emotep. I mean, they like in the original he was going undercover. He has an undercover name called Arctic Bay, which is the same name they use for the one this character name in this one, but the one who's helping O'Connell,
the Magi leader.
The Magi, yeah.
And he never gets named in this film verbally as Ardeth Bay, though they do name him in the sequel. But yeah, it's always understood that that's the name Ardeth Bay as a tribute to the original Mummy. There's also a line that Brendan Fraser has that is a tribute to the original, talking about Emotep must have been punished because he got a little too friendly, with the priestesses or whatever. They
the priestess' daughter.
Yeah, well, in that case, it'd be like because it was actually the Pharaoh's daughter in this case. But yeah. In the original, I think the term was that he said he got a little too gay with the Vestal Virgins. That line doesn't work in 1999, but it's modified a bit. Yeah. They also have. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, I thought you brought up this got too risky with the Pharaoh's daughter, but that was actually taken from the original, because in the original with Boris Karloff, when they showed some flashback of the backstory of Imhotep trying to get into he was in love with the Pharaoh's daughter, but in this one he was the Pharaoh's lover. Nox on the Moon was actually the Pharaoh's lover in the remake, but in the original, it was his daughter.
I do believe it is actually still his daughter in this one, though it does imply that he's got an inappropriate relationship with his daughter. It's not specifically laid out that way, but he is mentioned by the curator of the museum that Ankh-Sunamun is the Pharaoh's daughter, and that he is mistaken Evelyn as Ankh-Sunamun, which they even don't name that name correctly. They say Anak-Sunamun, which is Ankh-Sunamun. But that is actually another tribute to the original. Ankh-Sunamun was the daughter in the original of the Pharaoh Seti's daughter. So there is that. The fact that they actually open Imhotep's sarcophagus upright, another tribute to the original. Though they turned this one into a jump scare, which is, again, a really good Steven.
Yeah, where it's all gross and all gory.
Yeah.
And wow, it's been.
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry, Walter, you were going to say something a couple of minutes
no,
ago.
I was just going to add on to something about, because it was the style of this filmmaking. I mean, you actually kind of touched on it a little bit, but rewatching, I just didn't realize it until now that this is a time. I mean, this is late 90s, but this is a time when filmmaking was done on a grand scale. Like I said, you took something that was, little bits and pieces, kind of, vague and everything. Here you get to expand on it, but in a way where it's so glorious and so robust. You got like 1,000 riders, you got 1,000 people doing stunts, got all these and to me, it's very rare for someone to do that in a natural way, because now everything's so CG died. It's like, okay, where's the thrill? Where's the danger? Where's all? I mean, it's like there's no kind of mystery now, you know. And I think these is one of those films where I'm looking at now, and it's like, wow, they really did some stuff back then. I mean, they, like I say, they had the technology to kind of erase or put in and add all these things, but nowadays it's, man, I mean, that's why I say it's very rare to find a diamond in the rough, as I like to say, you know. And I'm just wishing that Hollywood could be more like that, but unfortunately, it's all about if we can make a good movie, and and I don't want to even mention it, but if you're so much into blue people, okay, if that's your only go-to nowadays, it's like you really have lost the game of what your filmmaking is about. You're supposed to make a good story, not something that's going to say, "Hey, I'm going to make $1 billion off of this." It's like you lost me right there. Okay, so that's why I wanted to talk that up. You know,
and you're not wrong. Why is it that we love this film, even if it is a little older and it doesn't, you know, have the budget of the newer films, and it's not nonstop action? There is the moments that you have to breathe and reestablish your characters, why you care about them. We can have some comedy, but if we are like the Transformers films, that's my biggest critique of some of those films, is that we're run. We never take a breath. Yeah. And it's constant visual effects the entire time. And we're tired. We're honestly tired, because after we've seen it enough, we're just like, when's it going to end? This one, it's like, I don't want it to end, because the story is engaging and I do care about these characters, even to the point of O'Connell, even though he is a comedic in nature. When Evelyn gets taken by Emotep, he's like, coming after you. Okay, so it's like, you know, we relate to that. There is something there, you know, that's going on behind his eyes, in his thoughts, and you can relate as the viewer. And he didn't have to do that necessarily verbally. He did it in his acting technique and his camera technique. And that's why these films, unlike some of the newer, you know, just nonstop Avengers and everything that we got, great films in their own ways. But again, take a breather, take a breath. Let's reevaluate our character development and why we care about these characters at all. I mean, I even really appreciate those secondary characters. Eric Avari is one of my favorite actors that it doesn't get a lot of credit. He's the curator of the museum. He's in Encino Man with Brendan Fraser. He's the Indian gas station attendant. He's like, "Don't waste the juice." And that guy could play about anything. He's amazing.
Well, you said it too, because even Oded Farrer, who plays Odeth Bay, like, he doesn't have a lot of screen time, but you know who he is, and you actually care, because he's actually kind of like a badass character. So, but even when he's doing something silly, like riding on the wing of that plane,
I like to talk about him.
Moment, but it's so funny, because like, this is a very serious guy who's there to protect Humanatra and all this stuff, and he's not on the screen. Like, he's in the second movie a lot more, but this one, you barely see him, but you care about him. You like his character. He's very cool.
I gotta say, he's like one of my favorites. Besides O'Connell, I mean, O'Connell and Odeth Bay are both of my favorite characters, because they make an awesome team. I mean, Odeth Bay, he's a one cool character. He knows about the curse and the mummy and he is the protector of the Magi, and all that, and wow, it's been an hour already.
Yeah. And did you know this? I'm pretty sure Nick and maybe Anubis knows this for sure, but his character was originally supposed to die in this movie. I don't know if you know.
Oh, really?
Yes, he was supposed to die. But
when he was at the end, when he was finding out
with the mummies and that in the cave, and they blew up. You think he's dead because
he fights.
Okay, and he's bad.
That test audiences loved. I mean, I think it was a test, or was it Summer said he liked his character, his performance so much. He's like, I'm gonna bring him back, and sure enough, brought him back. And hey, I wasn't discouraged by that. I was like, yes, he survived. You know,
no, he was like a real badass in that second film. Like that.
I mean, I don't know how he survived after he's been through all of those mummy priests.
Well, that's what you left. That's what his audience is left with the mystery. It's like, how did he escape? How did he? It's like, well, maybe he had some special kind of whatever to, get out of it. And that's the thing. You're left with that ambiguous thought process. And that's like, and that's the thing. You just left with that. But you realize if he's back, if the character is back that you love and appreciate, even though they had, like Anita said, small screen time, shows how effective his character is, and that's any character.
And
Yeah.
So Brendan said it too. Is John Hannah has another smaller role, but again, he's memorable. As Nick said, like you care about his character. It doesn't matter how long you've seen him on screen. You care about him. He's there.
Right.
He's the brother of Evie. So
let's talk about Jonathan, the brother of Evie. I mean, he's like a funny character. He's just
he's very funny.
He is an archaeologist discovery, but he's just a failure. And he did found the key that has the map of Hamanacha.
He always has like some item that they need.
Yeah,
whether it's a scepter or something else. He's always got something.
Yep. Yeah, he's the finder of the widget or the the MacGuffin, the whatever they need to get. But yeah, I love his introduction though, because even though they're kind of dealing with things that you're a little uncomfortable about, the dead and the dead being brought back to life, he's there in a sarcophagus, like holding on to this mummy, and it's just the dead. I'd like to join them, and he's having a drink, and he's looking for stuff. He's looking under the skeleton's arm.
And
where did I leave?
I'm looking him up. It's like he's played by John Hannah, and I guess he's a Scottish actor. I mean, what I heard when he was doing the Mummies, like after they did the Mummy, he says he's never been funny in any of his films. I mean,
previous or before?
I don't know. It's like because
he was very natural, comedic wise in this one. I have to say, he did a really good job.
Yeah, he was in all three films, and yeah, he's always funny in the Mummy trilogy. But I'm not. But these are the only films that I know him from. But I don't know him from any other films that he is in.
Yeah. Well, I know he's been on. He's been on several other films. He's been on some series, and he's been on some shows like the Game of Thrones and other various things. So it's like, he's like I say, he's got range like so many other ones, So it's
sometimes his character could be like a little cartoonish Looney Tune character, like kind of like like especially in the Gold Room, he was just craving for all the goals in that one scene at the end. And
this is why I say, it's sequels is a touchy subject, because whatever you did in the first one, it's like, okay, it worked there, but that's why I say you and this is why I have a problem with sequels personally, because it's like, okay, you want to do the same thing, but don't oversaturate it to the point where it's like, okay, that's funny, but it's like, okay, it's not coming up naturally. I mean, everything in a thing that you watch, especially for a sequel, it should flow naturally. You should be, as we mentioned before, you be invested in who the characters are and know that what you're watching them. It's like, okay, I care about these people. If you get to the point where it's like, okay, you know what? I mean, this seems okay, but now I'm about to run out the door with this because it's just not working for me now, And that's right. That's the problem with sequels for me, I don't. That's why I say some sequels work, like The Dark Knight. They work great. Others, you play devil's advocate on that. So
yeah. So what are you talking about? O'Connell, Evelyn, Jonathan, and Alec Bay. So let's talk about the main villain in The Mummy, Imhotep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Imhotep.
The mob scene. And I gotta say that the actor who played Imhotep is Arnold Vosloo. I hope I'm saying his last name correct.
Trust me, I'm not good with names, but it's Vosloo. So yeah.
Yeah, he is a South African and American actor, and he was actually born in South Africa.
Yeah,
and I say he does an amazing job playing Emotep in this and in 2 films. I mean, it's just he like I know his character. He's like I know he. Did you know before while they were filming? He used to have hair, but he still has hair. But when they were filming, he has to shave his head every morning and every day to do the shots that each scene that he is in as Emotep.
Yeah, I mean, because I feel that's more gives it more genuine potential. Because you could easily put a ball cap on it, but it's like you can tell that's ball cap, So it's like do it naturally; it'll be working out for you, And like I say, when I saw him in this film, it's like, okay, I can believe him playing Emotep, And it's kind of funny because before this film, I saw him previously in a John Woo film, which was Hard Target.
Hard Target.
That was my first introduction to him. I'd never seen him before or anything, but I could tell that this man could act, And then when I see him playing a mummy, it's like, okay, he's pretty decent, for what he does, I'm just sorry that he hasn't had much of anything else as far as,
Well, he's been in the G.I. Joe stuff, which is also Summers, I believe. So
yeah, I mean, I'm looking up him right now. He is been a lot of
the thing that
G.I.
makes
Joe.
it work for him, I think, is that he has like what I would call the resting bitch face, and so he's always got like this scowl. So he always looks like he's pissed off at something. So like, I think it works. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a great voice, and Darkman trilogy.
Yes,
not being able to show your face as often is definitely something that's humbling for an actor to do, because they really want their face out there, because they get more work when you get to see their face. That's why all the Avengers get their masks taken off invariably, so they can get their their 2 cents in. And but that's these are character actors for the most part. They're not typically leading men and women as the secondary characters. Obviously, our 2 mains, are getting the glory, but they have this fantastic secondary cast members, supporting cast members that are always that way. Jonathan Hyde, you saw him in Jumanji, a lot of great other films.
Oh yeah,
secondary characters.
Yeah, which we'll get to those later. I mean, So I look up Arnold Frozel. I mean, not only he was in 2 Mummy movies, but he was also in The Ride. But he's just voice recording for Emotep.
Great voice.
He was in The Ride at 2 Universal Studios parks. Which it was one of my favorite rides of all time, which was Confrontation used to be.
You've been there?
Remember that ride, Dad?
I'm about to say yes.
Which ride was that at Universal?
Revenge of the Mummy, the ride.
Oh,
that's the one in Florida. You didn't go on
I think
that.
it was at Universal. Guys, I'm not a big fan of roller coasters. I just get sick, and for some reason, his mother or something convinced me to go on this ride.
Because you're a great dad.
But
it was not good. I'm like, God bless America.
Yes.
Yeah, but at least you'll get experience of it when you watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, that's all I want to do with roller coasters, just watch them on YouTube. That's it.
Yeah.
So, but anyway,
great memories, right?
Yeah. I can't wait to go. I can't wait to go on this ride and then next month in December.
Nice.
Which I'm going to Florida in December with my girlfriend.
I think Papa's like me. We'll stick to like the Sea Dragon, where it just kind of goes up and down.
Yeah, DJ. I'm the kind of guy that just, you know what, you want to go on the ride, I'll watch your packages. Go ahead. I'm just gonna sit right here.
Behind you.
I'll hold your hot dog. It's not going to be here when you get back, but I'll hold it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So, well, listen, Brendan, it's past my bedtime.
Okay,
so
Dad.
I'm gonna set off. Hey
like
guys, thanks for having me. And Walter, you and I were talking earlier, as far as what time. I'll let you know. This morning, I got up at like 1:30 in the morning. Couldn't get back to sleep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is like past my bedtime, like 7 o'clock. When Brendan said 7 or 8, I'm like, we better make it 7, Brendan, because I'm gonna be
that's
dead
how
by
I
8
usually
o'clock.
start my podcast.
God bless.
Yeah.
And like I
So-
said, Dad, stay as long as you want. I mean,
Yeah. Well, I'm signing off now because I'm
He's signing
dozing
off.
off, Brendan.
all right. Well,
So-
yeah.
Get some sleep.
Thank
Papa.
you for
nice-
joining with
nice
us, Dad.
meeting you guys. You know,
Mhm.
Brendan,
It's
I'll
been
see you
fun.
tomorrow.
Yeah. Well,
Papa, good to meet
well,
you. And feel free to follow me on all the socials. Obviously, I'm friends with
I
Brendan.
will.
You
You know, this
love to speak with you sometime. I always ask this, when it comes to us OGs out there, my year of my birth is the Raiders of the Lost Ark. So that's my film of my
Okay.
birth year. Are you a what film of your birth year?
God, 1965. Nick, you're
Done.
Oh, well, we know Godzilla film.
Yes, exactly. I was
You
gonna
know.
say.
yeah, I like Godzilla, but I'm not on the same level with Brendan with Godzilla. Okay, I didn't even know there was that many films about Godzilla or this G Fest, and I'm like, oh my
Thank God for your
God.
support.
and I'm glad you. It's all because of you, Dad. Because if it weren't for you, then you wouldn't have ever got the VHS copy of the 1998 film, the one that starred Matthew Broderick.
Yeah. So I take an interest in some of the Godzilla movies and that in that. So, but you know what? I introduced you to a lot of classics, like the Universal movies, because I grew up with those, the black and whites of those.
Yeah.
And I, these movies remind me of my childhood, so
That's how I felt
it's a great
too.
experience. And to pass it down to Brendan is great. Either you're going to like it or you're not going to like it. And, and that's what it is. And to everybody teach his own as far as the movies and that. So I give you guys a lot of credit as far as, my God, looking into detail with the movies. I wouldn't even think about it. Now I'm going to watch The Mummy and watch some guy's sandals on a camel, since we've got. So anyway, all right, everybody, take care.
All right, thank you so much,
Nice
Dad,
meeting
and
you.
Okay.
hopefully we'll do an episode together, me and you, someday in the future.
We will. We
Yeah.
will. All right.
Yep. Good night, Dad.
Good night.
Take care. Yes.
1965.
Yeah.
He's a Clint Eastwood for a few dollars more.
Right.
It's a real man movie. Or
Yeah.
he's
I think
The Sound of
mine-
Music.
Or Frankenstein
well-
conquers the world. Maybe.
For me, 1970 would probably be Tor would be my movie.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Or
Well-
Airport for me, because
Yeah.
my mom was pregnant with me when she saw that film. So it's like
Airport?
Hey,
Yeah.
so we're kind of getting off topic here. So,
Oh, we're
so anyway, so where was I? Oh yeah, Imhotep. Yeah, so I can say he is he is like an awesome villain in this. Arnold Frozo plays him. I mean, like I said earlier, that he actually has hair of now. Like when they're filming this, he has to shave his head every day, and also the rest of his body too is to be shaved. But the film crew did it for him. Yeah, and that's why in the film you see when he was shirtless or clothless. I mean, you can see he's just totally hairless.
I gotta give it to Vosloo. He was in good shape for this. I mean, he's like I say. I think this is like one of his few films where he actually shows his entire body, and it's like you just got a long cloth on, and that's it. It's like, and I'm pretty sure he had to work out for that. It's like, hey, if I'm going to show my body on screen, it's like I better make sure that the guns are, showing off.
He did some gym work and hitting the gym, the weights to get the body for this, because it was more and more that they were starting to show of him as he was essentially being put together little by little, and they want to show that the full body did get reformed. It wasn't just like most of it, and then maybe he had the mouth going weird directions and stuff.
Yeah.
The work he did in that, playing the character, and he never speaks English once in this film.
He never speaks a single word in English in this film. He only speaks in Egypt's. Yeah, and
I mean, I thought he did. I mean, it was kind of like he speaks the language and then it's translated into English in that sense. Well, I guess it wasn't him.
Subtitles.
Subtitles. So like
Okay,
he'll speak in the language and then they'll subtitle it.
Yeah, and well, when he played the mummy, and he was in human form in the ended scenes, but in some season when he was all it was when he was all dissolved, a grossly mummy looks. I mean, I just love the his creature design. He's more of a monster when he is in this mummy form, but he's in this human form. He's more of like a villain.
And can I just add that the effects at this time were done by my favorite effects house, Industrial Light and Magic, and they were tapping on a lot of new technology for this particular film. And like I say, all the stuff where you see him as, this grotesque looking, entity, they did a lot of R&D of getting the muscles, the hanging of and all. I was like, wow, they really went to bat with this. I'm sorry that this film didn't get nominated for an Academy Award, but I mean, hey, the proof is in the pudding, knowing that if you enjoy it, you ain't got to worry about no award. The award is knowing people enjoy what they're watching and you believe it.
Yeah, and I guess
ILM, by the way, ILM, the varsity crew when it comes to the effects.
And it was the same studios. It's the same studio that they did the work on the Phantom Menace.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
crazy thing. They
Well,
did the
again,
Phantom Menace that year, and they did the majority of the work on that, but they had people on that movie work on this, so it's like, yeah.
Yeah, and then what I heard is that this film The Mummy was supposed to be released in May, the early summer, but it was actually pushed back in April. It's because of the Phantom Menace.
Yes. Was the same with the Matrix. It was supposed to come out, I think, a little close to where the Phantom Menace was, but it's like we don't want to go hit toe to toe with it. So it's like move it back a little bit so we don't have no competition there, So yeah.
Yeah, so that's why they push it back, and
because it was a monster in itself, the Phantom Menace. I mean, let's be honest. No one's seen a Star Wars film in a long time on the theater, so it's like, okay, since this Behemoth's coming out, we're gonna move these other films back. But the thing about this is, this film and Matrix, and they had their own characteristics of being blockbusters themselves, So it wasn't like it was.
And could you imagine? I know that both the Phantom Menace and the Mummy were both maybe the same ILM studio. Can you imagine if Jar Jar Binks appears in the Mummy in his mummy form, saying "Misa Mummy Binks"?
It's good.
Can you imagine that?
Please no.
But you know what? No, you just hit something right there, Brandon. Because I know as a studio like that. Any project that they're working on separately from another one, they tend to sneak something from the effects from that film onto the other film, just a minute little bit. And they've done this in the past, so I wouldn't be surprised if they had done that. That would have been hilarious if they did that.
Easter egg.
Yeah,
Easter. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I wonder if they did that. I didn't see anything in kind of the trivia section of anything in this, but yeah, there was a lot of work that they did. And of course, the visual effects, I think they talked about it on average is about $175,000 per shot.
Yes.
It's a lot of the budget of that 80 million was on the visual effects.
yeah, I gotta say, like for Imhotep in his mummy form, it's like, when they do some shots of him, like just a plain, they did some shots of some areas when they just film an empty area with Imhotep's not there, but yeah, when they use computer graphics for there, and then get all the movement, they don't want to do like a style movement. It was like, that's like animal movement form. They want to do something like that's a real human form, like his movement, like so the wrist moves and the
motion
muscles.
Yeah,
they did like motion capture.
Yeah, because you got that's the thing. I mean, with that, and see, this is like I say, this was tapping on that kind of technology where you have someone in a jumpsuit with these little balls, they filming with these infrared cameras to capture their natural movement.
Yeah, and that's why Arnold Frozo Flolo is they actually redid one of his shots, but in this little ball suit. Yeah, that's why they did some recreate some of his own styles for these shots, and so to capture his movement and also remember that one scene when Imhotep was almost fully in his human form, like after he sucked one of the Americans that was
that cowboy, yeah.
yeah, that's outside of Evie's room. That whenever he would use has those Gav's holes on his skin, and he was turning, and then a bug comes in his mouth.
Scarab.
Yeah, and then he ate it. Did you know it? I think it. I don't know if I'm correct, but I think this shot took 4 days to shoot. I think.
You're probably right, because see, that's the thing about effects at that time. You know, you had to do it in separate passes in order to get the right, like say, lighting, camera angle, and like I say, you mentioned before, you got to shoot it in an empty space so you can have the computer take out whatever you're going to put in there, and then it's like, okay, there you go, you know, because that's the thing, you know. That's like I say, at that time it was at its infancy, but now it's like so easy, you know. It's like, yeah, you know, we could just tap on the buttons and that's it. But back then that was more raw and, you know, ambiguous, you know, because it's like, this is new technology for me. We don't know how we're doing it, you know, but we're making it happen, you know. So yeah, that's how they had to do it. I mean, that's like I say, some shots would take maybe a few days, some shots could take maybe a week or two, you know. That's just how ambiguous it was.
Notice that there's actually a cool trivia on Arnold Vosloo, who was going to do the narration at the beginning of the film. The original thought was to have him do the voice speaking in English to do that. They decided against this so that the entirety of the time Imhotep, you hear his voice, you're hearing him do the Egyptian language, and then it ended up as the character Ardeth Bey doing sort of the narration set up at the beginning of that, which was honestly, I think that was a good choice.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, like Audit Fair, like he is the narrator in this, and only in the beginning, but yeah, he is a better narrator for this. He actually narrator in the second film in the beginning about the Scorpion King.
Yeah, do the setup, get the audience up to speed with where you need to be, and then action, you know.
And go there you go.
Yeah, and so yeah, like Imhotep, I mean, he's just really into Evie because he thought that is a Nox to the moon, which we mentioned earlier, because he chose her for a human sacrifice to bring life to a Nox to the moon's dead corpse of her mummy form. Like, so they can reunite their love and yeah, and I was like grossed out when Imhotep was kissed Evie when she was asleep, and it
deteriorates. Yeah,
that's like disturbing.
Well, see, that's one of the aspects of this film too. You have your hilarious moments, you know, comedic moments, but you got to have that horror element in this film too. You got to have those elements.
Yeah, that's like a gross scene. He's kissing her and he's on Disval, and then he was like, I think that's remember in the one scene when they brought Burns back while wearing a blindfold, and when he says, "I am so pleased to meet you," and then Benny just slaps saying, "Prince Imhotep does not like to be touched." I wonder if that's why he's like undissolved when he hits Evie, as you know, because when you touch the dead, he says undissolved. I mean, I think that's why.
Well, partially that, but then I think he wasn't fully fully regenerated either, you know, because he was down to one more person that he had to suck the life out of, and once that was done, then he wouldn't have to worry about that, you know. But then again, it could be possible. It could be a possibility of that.
That's actually,
yeah. That
The touching actually comes back to the 1932 Boris Karloff's character
Yeah.
when he is Ardeth Bay. There is a line where one of the archaeologists does reach for something and he pulls back and he says, sorry, it's an Egyptian culture. I cannot be touched by you. So there is something of a tribute back to the original Boris Karloff Emotep in that case. But yes, there could be a drawn out version of that. Obviously, if he's maybe in a sort of way, since he's a priest, that he somehow could be cursed or whatever, because he's, he is the way he is. He's being put back together, and until he reaches a certain form, he can't touch. But yeah, there is I think they made up that essentially as an Egyptian sort of tradition or something. Because honestly, when it does come down to Egypt, the people of Egypt now are not the people of Egypt then. They're not actually the descendants of the Egyptians during the time of the pharaohs and the pyramids. Those people are gone. Actually, that essentially that group of people, have been just bred out of existence in a sense.
Yeah.
So it's not that they've all died. They haven't died, yes, but their lineage has been mixed in with Middle Eastern and Africa, to the point where the people that are there now are not part of that lineage. They are largely Muslims that have Islamic culture that has moved into Egypt. So that is where we kind of look at Egypt now and we say, does that translate to Egypt then? Cultures, traditions, not necessarily all the same. And in a lot of ways, actually, the people who grew through the years of Egypt and the generations have pulled apart the monuments. That is why the pyramids look the way they do. They pulled apart the Great Pyramids to build the cities of Giza and Cairo out of the remnants of those bricks. So there's a lot about the whole Egyptian mystery that can be expounded upon. I love seeing, of course, the flashbacks to ancient Egyptian, and it's like ancient Egypt. You've got the pyramids, the Sphinx, under construction. How cool, to be there at that time when all of this stuff was new and not buried in the sands of time. But all of that's really accepted. And there was in the 1932 film, during that time, there was a great deal of interest in Egypt. Tutankhamun had been discovered, so in the first time we got a full look at a burial site of an Egyptian pharaoh, and to see everything he was buried with and exactly the burial techniques. So there was a great deal of interest in that. But yeah, it's a dry story. It's a slow story. And then you think about, how do I turn that into an action movie? Steven Summers delivered. I mean, he just did.
Greatly.
Yeah. I mean, one of my favorite scenes, that he created this sandstorm and he's formed his face on it, and he's trying to get O'Connell's plane with Winston.
Yes.
Yeah, it was just awesome. It's like they were inside the mummy's sandstorm, and there was some shots when the plane was in the sandstorm, with all the sand swirling around. I mean, if you look carefully, I mean, when they did the close up of the characters' faces and they're spinning, I mean, you could easily see there's no sand around it. It's just a little, there's a little dusty area.
I think that's just a quick and dirty effect, as far as those, because like I say, if you really had that much of sand corralling around them, they would get choked up by that, and sand is a lot more coarser than most people might think it is. I mean, it's very fine, but it's very versatile. It could really get, because I've heard people before, they've gotten sand when they use wind machines, blowing the sand to create these sandstorms in certain areas. They get whiffs of sand in their nostrils. It's like, oh God, it's like it does affect them, So I feel that was the thing. They're just doing that for the close-ups, and like I say, it was the way they filmed it. It's like, it was not for that. But like you say, that effect where you see his face form in the sand, it's like that. To me, that's the most iconic moment in the film, because it's letting you know, it's like how powerful this being is. He's almost omnipotent to a certain degree, you know.
Yeah, and yes, and when they were filming this in Morocco, I mean, like when they film this around Hamanatra and some of the desert areas when they're riding the camels, sometimes they're when they're walking on sand, sometimes they get sand in their shoes, and then sometimes sometimes sands are filled with creepy crawlers and poison snakes.
I don't like sand. It gets everywhere.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
the embodiment
And they
of
and they actually filmed this in Morocco in 3.5 months.
Well, look, I'm surprised they did it in 3 months because let's be honest, if you've ever been to a desert area, which I have not, thank God, I can just tell you from a person who lives in the South where it gets drearily hot only because of the humidity. Being in that kind of environment is not fun. You know, it's letting you know right there how human you really are, and if you can stand there for the fact that you're using equipment that can break down easily because of the 110-degree heat, or you got people who are covered up, you know, basically some in parkas, you know. But I'm wondering, were they filming during the so-called wintertime or the summertime? Because surprisingly, in the desert, you do have cold moments. As crazy as that sounds. I mean, in like I say, during the fall and winter times, it can get cold, you know. But depending on when they film this, that's a different story altogether, because I don't know, you know, because that'd be funny if they filmed this during the summertime. It's like, boy, y'all picked the worst time.
Yeah, because of all the 130 degrees heat in Egypt, and it'll be difficult to film that.
I mean, because that's what the original Star Wars did, you know. I mean, they actually filmed the Tatooine scenes like during the I think it was during the wintertime, you know, so it wouldn't be so hot for the actors, you know.
I
Yeah,
forget what desert they used for that. I know, obviously, this film in Morocco, but because they're not going to film in Egypt. Egypt is politically a difficult place to shoot, but at the same time, it's actually a crazy hot place, and getting resources to your actors, you know, they're actors, okay? They want their caterer. They want
yes.
They want their trailer and
they gotta be pampered so well. It's like, yeah, I'm an actor. I need my sustenance. Like, get out of here.
Where's my bowl of Skittles?
Yeah, exactly. Right?
All the green ones.
Yeah, and I know also what I like how they set up the set for Hamanatra. Like you know they actually filmed that set at atop of a dormant volcano.
Yes, that was something I didn't realize at the time.
Yeah,
so it's like, that's a dormant. I mean, really? It's like, okay, you know, if it comes up, if it starts acting up, it's like, y'all better be out of there quick, you know. So, but yeah, I mean, but it's a great setting, though. I mean, I think it's a beautiful setting.
Yeah, and yeah, it was like a great set. I mean, I just wish they could kept the set at one of the Universal Studios parks, like on a tour. Like that'd be fun to look at if they was set at Universal Studios parks.
Well, you know, I mean, with the money and everything, I mean, and then like I say, trying to get people to come. I mean, which it could have, you know, but it varies, you know, people's interests and everything. It's just like with dinosaurs, you know, you're gonna have it for a moment. Their excitement will be there, but then it's like, okay, I've seen it so much. It's like, I don't know if I'm gonna be interested for so long. So, yeah, that's the thing. What will last longer than something else?
Yeah, and it's you know, so we already talked about all the characters, right? I mean, and I noticed the American characters, and then you know, like Americans, you know, the one who got the treasure been sold or sucked out by Imhotep, and yeah, I mean, I don't know much of these actors who play them. I mean, and I know this one who has the big, tall red hat above. I mean, I forgot his name, but I did have the list of casts in there. Like, yeah, like what, yeah, like the one actor. I mean, who's was played by Jonathan Hayden. That's
Hyde.
that.
That's
Yeah.
that's a prolific British actor. I know that.
Yeah, he's been in a bunch of '90s films that I know. He's been in Anaconda, the Titanic, and Jumanji.
Yes.
Right.
And,
A lot of great film.
And I don't know if you know the guy who wears the glasses. He was, believe it or not, he was in some daytime soap operas. I can't remember what his name was, but he was. That's the only reason why I was able to recognize him, because I remember him previously in. Sad to say, I used to watch daytime soap operas when I was younger. So, but yeah, he was in those, so that's how I recognized him. You know?
oh, like yeah, I'm looking up the cast right now of the American actors and yeah, I mean,
I was going to ask Walter, was it Days of Our Lives or was it The Young and the Restless?
No, it wasn't even Days of Our Life. It was that One Life to Live. Believe it or not.
My mom loved Young and the Restless.
Oh my God. Well, I'm about to put myself on blast right now. I did watch Days of Our Lives. I did watch General Hospital. I did watch. Yes, I did. Yes, I did watch these things because. Funny thing is, my mom used to watch these things, and for some reason I got the itch, and I started watching them myself, and I'm just like, wow, these are some insane characters. You know, what are they doing? You know, how are they surviving these? It's like I got hooked. And I was hooked on these things for like maybe 4 or 5 years. That shows how invested I was. It's like, wow.
So Walter's admitting he was a Bo and Hope fan.
Yeah, basically.
I gotta say, the actor Ardeth Bay, he needed more work, but unfortunately, I think with a name like that, it's difficult in Hollywood unless you're changing your name to something very, very simple and very easy for Americans to roll off the tongue. Right. I do remember him in the third Resident Evil film. I thought he was actually really great in that. Probably the best part of that. But yeah, the Mummy. He's in Star Trek Discovery, a series that I don't care to see. I don't know. I just don't have any interest anymore in Star Trek, but I'm sure he's great in it. And I'll say he has aged incredibly well.
Yes.
Just like
and there was also, and I'm sorry to interrupt, Nick, but there was also another character name for it. It's called. There's another character in it. I know Artist Bay is in it, but there was another character name called Dr. Terrence Bay, who was the library. Yeah. The library boss, and then he's the one who burned the map.
Eric Kavari. I think Nick talked about him earlier.
A lot of great.
Yeah, he is like has the same last name as Arctic Bay, but they're both named Bays, and yeah, because he's
from India. I think he's from India, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm not sure. I know he plays everything. I mean, he was in Stargate. He is Nicodemus in the Chosen series, which is fantastic, by the way.
He was in Independence Day, if I'm not mistaken, too. Yeah,
and he was in Mr. Deeds.
Was he?
Yeah, with Adam Sandler.
Oh.
Darjeeling, India. You are correct.
Okay, I can say I was thinking for sure, but I wasn't for sure, so I want to be sure, man. Correct me. I don't need to be saying I know everything. I need to say let me know if I'm mistaken. So let me know.
Yeah, and one thing I noticed about Dr. Terrence Bay, the librarian, but when they show his name in the credits, the end credits, he was just called I forgot what it was called. He was just the curator in the credits.
I was gonna say
I don't know why they actually changed his name in the credits.
I mean, they did mention his name in the movie, or maybe that's just why they call him. I don't know.
I don't recall if they did or not, but it's just like for audiences, it's like, did I commit his name to memory, or is he, another side character that I know is going to lead us along the way and going to die at some point. And he died heroically. Put up a good fight. Yep,
with sword in hand.
That's right. Yeah, and these secondary characters that are just they have played great solid roles in everything they are. And I was going to say about Ardeth Bay, the actor who plays him, is I'll say man enough to say not only is he aged well, but looks great for his age. I think he's, you know, a just well put together person and just has that, you know, supermodel look, like he can always be like, ladies, you know, just he's got that swagger about him that just is like, he doesn't age, and he can play just like Eric Avari, play almost any nationality, almost any. You know, he's played several. You know, like even Eric Avari is, you know, he's Jewish in one thing. He's Egyptian in this. He's Egyptian in essentially Egyptian in Stargate.
Wow.
You know, so many. He is in if you remember Daredevil, again, very small role that he was in that, the original one with Ben Affleck. Not again, you know, a lot of screen time for him, but yeah, can play just about any role and has always looked like an older man, even though he's just a little bit older than my own dad. And, you know, back in 1999, he wasn't that old, but he can look older. He can look younger. He can just be that kind of, you know, just any age kind of character. And,
yes. And, you know,
now
speaking
definitely OG guy.
Yeah. And, you know, speaking of age, I mean, the actor who played Ardeth Bay, I mean, he, I forgot. No, let me look it up.
Oded Fair.
Oded Fair was, when they were filming this, he was only 23 when they were filming this. And he, did you know he has to wear like some high heel shoes to make him look taller, to match the same height as Brendan Fraser? Like,
because Brendan Fraser is like 6'3", so yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's like shorter than Brendan Fraser.
I knew this. You said you were born in 70, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
70.
And...
Yep, he's your age.
Well, our age, because me and the Nubas are pretty much match in that area, you know.
Yeah. So earlier I brought up about Brendan Fraser wanted to do his own stuff, like find out the mummy priests, find when he was saving Evie. I mean, like, did you know that scene? Like, I think it took him like weeks to do training. I mean, sometimes they did practice of have Brendan fight off some real mummy suit actors, and then later when they're filming, Brendan just teaches doing some.
He mimics his moves, thinking like he's cutting something down.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, that's a great moment too.
Yeah, because the mummies on that shot was all CGI.
Yeah.
Yeah. And did you notice when those mummy suits and those mummy suit priests appeared on the ground, like, did you know the bandage suits were actually a reference to Imhotep's original appearance in the original film when he was. Yeah,
because that's the thing, you gotta play homage to what the original does. I mean, because even Stephen Sommers said himself, you know, this is one of my favorite, or I say one of the movies that really scared me more than anything, other than the Wolfman or Dracula or even Frankenstein. It's like you want to play to that fear, but give it more oomph when you show it. So it's like I want to show that how interested, or say homage to, that I like it so much, that it scared me so much that I gotta show that, you know. So it's like, yeah, it really makes sense.
Yeah, I gotta say, like that scene was Brendan Fraser did fight with the mummies. It's just awesome, especially with the army mummies. Yeah, saying, "Oh yeah, this keeps getting better and better." And
I mean, when Jonathan has the book that's made out of pure gold and he reads incantation, it's like they bring them to life. It's like, oh my goodness! I mean, can you? I mean, but see, this is the saying that I've heard many times when it comes to stuff like this. They say, you know, you got a lemon, squeeze as much juice as you can out of it till you get to the point where it's like you can't squeeze it no more. And that's what he did. That's what Sommers did here. It's like, well, we've come this far. How much more can we put or get out of this lemon? You know, and sure enough, you know, he pulled it out of this, and it works. You know, that's why I say I love that it's like we up the ante in this film, not so much where it's like it's overbearing, you know, but it works for it.
Yeah, and then I like, if you guys notice when O'Connell was going through those stairs down, I mean, the mummy armies are chasing him. You can see that the mummies were crawling on the walls like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I'll be truthfully honest with you. I don't even know how is that they have that kind of power, unless it's just because they're mystical. Maybe that's why they can climb like that, you know. But it's like, okay, we'll accept it.
Well,
You know?
I think that's what they were trying to convey, because like in hindsight, it looks a little ridiculous, but at the same time, the idea was these guys were like blasting through walls and through windows and doors. So like they have this like supernatural power about them to where they can just withstand anything and move very fast. So I kind of get it, you know, why they wanted to do that the way they did.
Yeah. And well, guys, it's almost 2 hours, and I think we just talked about everything except one last topic I think we have left. It is the score.
Jerry Goldsmith.
What I thought you were
Jerry Goldsmith doesn't get enough credit for this film. I think he did a phenomenal job on this.
Yeah, I mean, Jerry Goldsmith, he does an amazing job with the music. I like the music score he did for this one. I also recognize his work for the original Planet of the Apes films. I mean, and also Gremlins.
Yes.
That I did not know that.
Oh, you didn't know? Okay.
He's done.
Yeah, he also did the music score for Disney's Mulan.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the man's got range. I mean, I'm pretty sure you've heard many of his scores in other films. And if you've ever seen, oh my goodness, if you've ever seen The Omen, that to me is one that will really make your hair stick up. You know, that score is just like, oh wow. So yeah, he's got range. I gotta tell you.
Yeah, I think this.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think this was his last film that he did the score before his passing.
Yeah, I was gonna say next to last, because I think he did partial score on the Looney Tunes Back in Action, but
that was his last film.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So it's like, yeah, because he passed away in 2003, I believe, or was it 2004? So. Yeah,
about that. And yeah, it is strange when they end on a film that you're like, really, that one? Well, it's not like you planned on it. I mean, you know, it's like Orson Welles, the last film he did was the Transformers,
yes,
which I love, by the way.
Yeah, I mean,
like, fantastic way to go out, man. But
I mean,
Orson,
and he did not come back. And he did not come back for the second film because of his dislike of his score in the first film.
Really?
I mean,
really,
but I think I still like his score in the first. But I gotta be honest. I think I like the Alan Silverman score better in the second one. But what I like about Jerry Goldsmith's score in the first one is like one of my favorite themes is like the theme where they're in the temple, they're trying to find the Imhotep's corpse, and then when the coffin drops down from the ceiling, that theme goes on. Like, I love that theme, and I also like Imhotep's horror theme every time he appears.
It's like I say, it's very. Like I say, I mean, and like I say, I won't give too much hate on Sylvester's score because I thought he was going to have Jerry Goldsmith, but when you just said that Goldsmith didn't care much about this score in this film, it's like, well, I guess, I mean, hey, that shows your own worst critic. So it's like, yeah, I can understand that.
But I mean, both of them are, aces. Both of them, like Alan Silvestri, what he did with Back to the Future, is some of my favorite works that he's done. And it's like, it made that film, it was already great to begin with before the score, but to make it more epic and what the director pushed him to do to make this bigger. It's like, I don't have huge, amazing shots. I've got some pretty good ones, but can you make the score epic? And he did. He delivered. And so
And I
it's like,
Yeah.
And
those
I gotta
two-
say, when that score for back, I'm like, wow. I mean, I wasn't expecting that. I mean, it's like that's the score I'm here. This is the music. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna ride with that. You know?
good work.
Yes.
Memorable and exciting. And yeah, I mean, so Stephen Summers, hats off to him for getting, some of the greatest ones. It's like you don't hear about some of these names anymore. Some of them stand out. All of us are probably a fan of maybe Bear McCreary, but it's like how many other Hans Zimmer's still doing his work
Yes.
and has been around a while.
Yeah.
But it's, the ones that are just really the, knock it out of the park. John Williams is still with us and he is up there. And
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think John Williams retired after he did the Duel of Destiny of the 5th Indiana Jones film.
Well, as I understand it, there was at least a report or an article that came out that he's going to do another flying saucer alien movie, UFO movie with Spielberg.
I heard about that.
His guy.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay. I mean, I think he's 90s.
No, he's in his he's in his yes.
Not 90 even 90s. And
Yes.
it's like if he can crank out another fantastic score to knock it out of the park, all right. Who are you going to argue? Are you going to argue with E. John Williams?
Yeah, but Jerry Goldsmith's score for this film is always the best, and but right next to Alan Silverman's score in the second. I mean, I love both scores. I mean, but Jerry Goldsmith is always the best of remembering because he only did the first one, and yeah, I especially love the theme from the beginning and the ones I just told you of Emotest theme and everything, and the adventure theme and all that. It's just one of the best scores. Wish I could purchase the full soundtrack of it.
It's out there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Brendan,
Yeah,
I know you're
and-
probably getting to the point of. Go ahead. Sorry. I
And
didn't
in
interrupt.
fact, I just remember, just remember something. You guys remember the Jurassic Park ride in Japan at Universal Studios Japan?
Never been there.
I was gonna say I've never been there, never heard of
If you there are some YouTube videos of the full ride, but the ride is all just mirrored, and because it's in Japan, I mean, there were some parts of the ride it has the John Williams theme, especially the open gates part. I mean, but when you get to the full warehouse where the T-Rex is inside, the Velociraptors Lost Swords, when you enter in, when you're going up into the building before the fall, there's this music theme going on in the background that sounds so familiar. They actually used the theme from The Mummy. That was from the beginning of the film.
Okay.
They used the thieves theme of the City of the Living
In the Jurassic Park ride.
Yeah, the one that's the Japan version.
The Mummy to Jurassic Park. What do they got in there? King Kong?
I was gonna say that would work,
Yeah, I mean, or like I said, when they playing the Mummy theme from the beginning, in that warehouse and when the Jurassic Park Japan ride, I'll be like, when they got in there, the Mummy.
Yep, there you go.
That works. See,
What do they got
Yeah.
in there?
Yeah, I mean, and I mean, honest guys, I think that's just about it. It's been like 2 hours, and yeah, I think that's everything we know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, so yeah, and I'm glad my dad joined us. And yeah, Dad, if you're still watching this, like, I want to say thank you so much for joining me for this episode, and it really means a lot to me because I know how much you like that film that we both of us watched growing up together, and yeah, that's why I had you on this, and I want to say thank you for joining me, and hopefully I'll have him in my future podcast episodes someday in the future. So what do you guys think? Like, let me know in the comments below, and and I want to thank you guys on the stream. Thank you for joining me for this special Halloween podcast episode. And a good thing I did this on the day before Halloween, because this film is like a Halloween movie because it's the Mummy, of course, the Mummy,
Right.
and this is one of my favorite films of all time. Growing up watching with my dad and all that, whenever time we do movie nights together and horror films of classics and all that, and yeah, it is one of my favorite Mummy films of all time. I remember, and that it besides the other outside Mummy films, the only Mummy films I know is this one, the Mummy trilogy, the original with Boris Karloff, and the remake with Tom Cruise, which I'm not a big fan of.
I don't think a lot of people are big fans, and if any of you guys have seen it, then don't waste your time.
I didn't bother. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't interested. Yeah.
I mean,
this one had the cast. I mean, this one had the right cast for it, and the fact that Tom Cruise could have been in as the O'Connell character in this. There were a lot of different casting choices that they had. Everything from Sylvester Stallone, Leonardo DiCaprio. I mean, tons of people that possibly could be in it. They got the right guy. I mean, history shows they got the right guy to play O'Connell.
They knew what they were doing.
Yeah. And so once again, thank you guys for joining me for this. And DJ is great meeting ya. And you're like,
You too, man.
you're my new guest on here, and hopefully I'll have you again on here someday.
Sure.
And if I have a future idea for a podcast in the future.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate having me on here.
Yeah, and thank you all for joining, and thank you guys for watching, and hopefully someday I'll do an episode about The Mummy Returns someday. You never know.
Yeah. And Brendan, I've got a surprise for you if you've got a minute.
What is it?
I've got a cast member of The Mummy right here with me today.
What is it?
No, I've got a cast member from The Mummy, 1999, with me right now.
Really?
Would you like to meet them? Would you
Show
like
me.
to meet them? No, seriously, you'd like to meet them?
Yeah. Like, you mean in person?
I want
with
to
you?
meet them.
Right
I
now.
was going to say, I would love to.
I'm going to introduce you. Just hang on. Just hang on.
Okay. That'll be interesting. That it's.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Yes.
Oh, good one.
Good. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
The real hero of the
Yes.
Oh, he looks so cute.
Oh my god.
oh,
It's a kitty cat.
that's
Right.
so cute.
Emotep does not like kitty cats.
No.
Yeah,
He's the guardian of the underworld.
yeah,
Oh my
that's.
goodness. That's cool.
Oh,
She's appeared on my show a few times. This is Tippy. We call her Fat Tippy because she's
Fat
she's,
Tippy.
she's got a little paunch, yeah, but she's
Aw.
a sweet
I
cat.
miss having a cat.
Oh,
I used to have one back then, but it's sadly his history, and
Well, I mean, hey.
yeah.
But at least you had time with them. That's what's important.
yeah, at least but I hang out with my girlfriend's cats. She has two, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah, we got 2 cats, 2 rabbits, and I have 25 tarantulas.
oh,
So he's got company.
Yeah.
I hate tarantulas. I hate spiders. They're just my worst nightmare.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. So, what's your cat's name?
This one, yeah, Tippy.
Tippy. Yeah.
It's Tippy, yeah.
I,
She's Fat
Hey.
Tippy.
oh,
Look at the fat.
oh, he's not so fat.
I was gonna say he's not that bad. Yeah.
She don't mind. She's a house
Oh.
cat. She
Oh,
loves it.
it's nice to meet you, Tippy.
Yeah, she's been on the show a few times, and she always joins me here in the office at Monster HQ when I do shows and live streams. She just hangs out in here, so she's just very chill, Very awesome, very cool. And I was going to also mention that my daughter is also named Evelyn. So I'm like, this movie,
Oh.
every time they say Evie, I'm just like, my poor Evie. Back in the 1930s.
Oh my goodness.
Well, yeah. Well, so thank you for
Weren't
showing us
expecting- You weren't
Tippy,
expecting that,
Nick.
were you? Yeah,
No.
you weren't.
I didn't expect that. I was.
You didn't know I had a cast member right here in the office with me.
Oh, so yeah. So once again, thank you guys for joining me, and thank you for showing us Tippy, and thank you all for watching, and happy Halloween.
Yes.
See you later.